Yes! 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 My parents are cousins! Yes!
Channel. Now I know the whole Twitter and the world is blowing up. It's so funny. So first off, let me go ahead and let you guys know, yes, the Mighty Guru pod is on ice right now.
To clear things up, we won't be doing another episode of the Mighty Guru show.
Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson has kicked MMA Guru to the curb after he was brutally exposed for his hateful, embarrassing, seething cope anti-Muslim comments.
I think Dana's cool, but as a boss of the UFC, there's a lot to critique.
Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Adesanya, former two-time middleweight champ, and Joe Pyfer is on a 3-fight win streak.
And the UFC is boring to him right now. His dopamine centers are so fried from gambling $30 million in a weekend and doesn't even care about the sport that made him a fucking billionaire at this point.
What's up, Guru? What's up, bro? Oh, yeah.
Meet you too.
Have a seat, bro. Have a seat.
Dude! Let me get on a single at least. What are you talking about?
Sit.
Got a single leg. That's all I wanted.
One of the most talked about figures in MMA isn't even a fighter. It is the MMA Guru, who has gone through something of a cancellation, bounce back, and career boom in the last 2 or 3 months to overall, but really bounced back and boomed in the last week or so. Now, Guru's always popular. I'm not saying that he's not, but he went from being canceled, I guess whatever canceled means these days, to losing his show with Demetrious Johnson. And then fast forward a few months, he's on the Nelk Boys podcast. He's with Armin Sarukian and Adin Ross on stream, all types of stuff, Fishing with Bryce. MMA Guru is having probably the biggest moment of his career. And the important part of that, he is criticizing Dana White on platforms that he's going to see, on platforms that the UFC is going to see. And that's the real way that Guru is actually, in my opinion, going to change some of the laziness and subpar effort that we've gotten from the UFC in the last few years. So in this video, we're going to get into that, the rise, fall, and bounce back of MMA Guru and his criticism of Dana White. So stick around to hear my thoughts. My name is Wyatt. Welcome to Fight Society. All right, guys, so before we get into the video, do me a huge favor, like and subscribe down below. If you're watching on your phone, swipe left on the comment section and hit that hype button for me as well. But let's get into the video. Now, we'll start here where just a couple months ago at UFC 322 for his fight companion, MMA Guru said this, and there was a lot of backlash and consequences to this clip right here.
Get him off the, somebody push him off the top of the cage, for fuck's sake. Yes! 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 My parents are cousins! Yes! These are my 2 belts. Raise them up, Makashev. Your parent, there's one for each cousin, dude. One for each cousin parent.
And this was such a big deal to the point that TYT Sports, a very big, like kind of like left news channel, TYT Sports, made a "this rant just ended this streamer's career" type of video. And this led to the cancellation of the Mighty Guru show.
What's on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now I know the whole Twitter and the world is blowing up. It's so funny. So first off, let me go ahead and let you guys know, yes, the Mighty Guru pod is on ice right now. It's not over completely. You know, obviously, Guru said some things that obviously I don't agree with.
And that cost him the show. And this is what Guru had to say about it as well.
It's going to be doing solo, but instead, thanks to all the backlash on Twitter, I guess it's being announced now to clear things up. We won't be doing another episode of the Mighty Guru show.
What seemed to be something of like a cancellation where big portions of the MMA community were going to write Guru off. Of course, those of us that have been watching his channel for a long time, I think I started watching him around 50K subs. And those that have been watching him for a while knew that this was just like par for the course, and other people made a really big deal out of it. I'm not saying he should be saying stuff like that, but factually he's not wrong. But even, you know, people like MMA Joey, just, I don't even really know what to say about this guy, to be honest. But this is him. He claimed the dub, saying that he was the reason the show ended.
Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson has kicked MMA Guru to the curb after he was brutally exposed for his hateful, embarrassing, seething cope anti-Muslim comments during his UFC 322 stream.
Whatever, he's fucking annoying. But anyways, that time seemed like we were going to see a little bit of a downturn in Guru's popularity because people were like, he's a bit radioactive. He's kind of got that Bryce Mitchell vibe to him where if you say that you like him, people look at you differently. Those of us that have been watching for a while weren't really tripping. And I honestly think that when people are just making jokes, trying to be funny and entertaining, there needs to be way more wiggle room for people like just trying to be funny. It's not actually trying to stir up any hateful shit, you know? But Guru is having a big moment because when on Adin Ross's stream, like I showed a little bit ago, and I've covered some of this already, but even after all of that, Guru, he went to the US. He's actually still there right now to film Fishing with Bryce, a video he's doing with Bryce Mitchell. And this right here is other things that happened while he was on this trip. And the first of it was streaming with Adin Ross and Arman Sarukian, which got a lot of clicks.
What's up, Guru? What's up, bro? Oh, yeah. Have a seat, bro. Have a seat.
So he makes an appearance on Adin Ross's channel. Then, of course, the wrestling clips that everybody talked about for quite a few days, criticizing Guru and saying that, yeah, he got beat up and out wrestled by Arman Sarukian. Like there's literally no shame in getting out grappled by a world-class grappler, regardless of being way heavier than the guy and all that stuff. And so many people online were like, yeah, Guru finally got embarrassed. He finally met his match. He did this grappling with Arman Sarukian. Now he finally knows what it feels. There's real consequences to the shit he says. I think that all was so dumb. I mean, in my opinion, he talked shit online and he went in there on camera live and was just like, yeah, let's go with Arman Sarukian. I actually respect it quite a bit more. And there's so many people that say, oh yeah, these guys that never train, these guys that don't have anything to do with the sport talk shit about fighters online. They shouldn't be allowed to. That's why it's important Guru got beat up. That shit's so salty to me. What I really think is that anybody can talk about the sport. It's part of the thing here. This is part of what happens in MMA. You have these commentators like me, MMA Guru, Lucas Tracy, Bedtime. We talk about the sport, and it's just part of what the community wants to see is us bag on fighters. Even if some people are more disrespectful than others, of course, you don't have to fight or train to talk about the sport. I really don't like that sentiment. I used to fight myself. I talked about this in my collab with James Lynch. Like, you don't have to fight to talk about the sport. I don't really think it's that necessary. I used to fight myself, so I guess it gives me, in some of the viewers' eyes, a little bit more legitimacy when I talk about fighters doing something wrong or blah, 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 whatever. I don't really think it's that necessary to do that to talk about the sport. In the past few weeks, MMA Guru has had a massive bounce back, of course, with Adin Ross stream, and then he made an appearance on the Nelk Boys podcast that came out a couple days ago where MMA Guru, and this is really the main point of the video, is MMA Guru is criticizing Dana White to people that are like in Dana White's circle and criticizing him about things that we all complain about as fans. It really just never falls on anybody's actual ears. This is him criticizing Dana White on platforms he's going to see. I think we could actually get some real change. Or even if he was to convince Kyle from Nelk or something like that, of even just having a conversation, like even just him talking right here might convince one of these guys enough to mention something to Dana about the promotion being whacked.
Thoughts on Dana?
I think Dana's cool, but as a boss of the UFC, there's a lot to critique, so I'll get my content.
I'm kind of curious to like what your critiques are. Because let's establish this. There's a difference between a diehard expert and a casual fan.
What are the critiques of Dana White?
No, wait, hold on. Here's what I want to say. There's a difference between a casual fan. Yeah. I'll say I'm a casual fan. I don't know nearly as much shit as these other guys I like to watch. And you're an expert. If you look at Dana being a businessman, trying to grow the sport as much as possible, you would argue he's doing a pretty good job.
And that's the thing, is there's a lot of these guys like the Nelk boys that are around Dana that don't actually understand how the sport works. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're like, oh yeah, this fight was big. We got put cage side next to Trump and the crowd was super loud, but they don't understand like the nuts and bolts of how this sport works, the way that the people like us that watch it every single day for the most part and keep up with all the intricate details of like the events and the fighters and the rankings and who said what about who. For us, we're like, oh, there's so much to criticize, but these guys they sit cage side every time that they go to the biggest fights for free, get the celebrity VIP treatment, and they go, oh yeah, Dana's doing great. Like, of course they are. Your experience with it, because you don't pay attention to it that closely, is great. And also every time you see it, it's like the top VIP A1 experience. So it's a little out of touch compared to how the average UFC fan feels, especially the ones that can't afford to go and watch it in person or sit and take in the sport the way that these guys do. they have to watch it from home.
He did a good job. No two ways about that. Like, he brought the sport from nothing to something. That's crazy. You'll never be able to top that. But at the same time, I always say this. Dana's supposed to be doing the fucking promotion for this, and he's out here on the baccarat tables with Steiner. That's the fucking,
That's after the promotion. That's late night, bro.
Yeah, but that's late night promotion. But I feel like there should be more effort. You know, when he announces,
but he could still do both, though. No,
he can still do both. But what is him doing the promotion of it is my question, because he's on his phone.
I'm sure other commissioners are doing that shit behind the scenes too. They're just not on camera.
Yeah, I get that. But when you're on your phone and you're giving me like 240p grainy quality fight announcements, it's like, come on, man, hype up the sport. I just feel like the UFC could be 10 times better if someone was a bit hungrier. Yeah, Dana needs like his son to take over the business.
And I agree with that. We've been talking about this quite a bit on this channel lately, where it just seems so uninspired. Like, this is Dana White announcing fights these days. And it's Adesanya, he was their poster boy 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He was one of the biggest stars in the sport, especially after McGregor got injured and Khabib retired. Adesanya was such a massive star in this sport. And now this is the lack of enthusiasm that Dana shows, announcing the return of one of his most popular fighters ever.
Middleweight champion Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Adesanya, former two-time middleweight champ, 16 of his 24 wins by knockout, and Joe Pyfer is on a 3-fight win streak. And since winning the Contender Series, all but one of his wins have come by finish. Also on the card, we have former champ Alexa Grasso.
Just look at his face. He looks so completely uninterested. And so when you see how uninspired this is, and then you also see how he responds to people criticizing the fights being booked in general, like right here, this was him on Complex News. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. He says, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Talking about Volk versus Lopez 2.
You got Volk Lopez 2. Some people, I guess, maybe were questioning why there was a rematch when the first fight felt a little decisive on Volk's behalf.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It was just a fight that made sense.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's like you should be getting people excited to watch the fight. And he just goes, yeah, don't watch it. That is not your job. You're literally by title. You're a promoter. You are the CEO and president of the UFC, and you're actively not promoting your fights. The same way I made the video yesterday, thanks for showing so much love on that one too, guys, about MMA managers negotiating essentially against their clients to get in the good graces of the UFC matchmakers. It's the exact same type of shit. When you consider what Guru's saying about the lack of effort, I mean, for fuck's sake, he doesn't get excited about anything, but he gets excited talking about gambling. We'll get to that in a sec.
With new hunger for promotion.
I don't know.
What, you want the Vince
I think
McMahon
Dana's
route?
hungry, bro.
Dana's hungry for promotion in the UFC. I mean, he does a decent job, but he could do way better.
I mean, look at this Paramount Plus deal.
Yeah, but that's just the UFC.
What do you mean?
I know that Dana White does a good job, yeah, but I don't know. I think he could do more with like amping up the fights a lot more.
I think if you knew him, you'd know how much of like strategic killer he
Okay,
is.
when was the last face-to-face interview with fighters then?
Have they ever really done that? They do press
They used to do
conferences.
that all the time.
And they did used to do that all the time. We used to get Jones versus Cormier right here facing off with Joe Rogan in between them. One of the sickest ones. Dude, like this one was so sick. This was with the, I'm not going to play the sound because I'll get copyrighted, but this was a sick one. And then this is deleted now, but it was on BT Sport, UFC Face-Off, the Darren Till and Jorge Masvidal one as well. This one was freaking great. This one was great. And then, you know, Darren Till got knocked out, but we don't see stuff like that or like this at all anymore. And Dana White is announcing the fights from his phone after we wait 10 hours to get a weird main event for a fight night in Seattle with a boring co-main event. It's pretty crazy.
Don't do face-to-face interviews like when there's a table in front of them.
When have they?
Oh, like the DC Jones type.
DC Jones talking shit in front of each other with Joe Rogan.
I mean, that's a
between them.
great idea. That'd be sick to watch.
Yeah, they need to bring that shit back. But it feels like, you know, when they get to a certain level of business, they can just sort of downgrade.
But this Paramount Plus deal,
It's every time that you see Dana do an interview and he's just giving such half-ass answers about the UFC, the vibe that I get is this is a guy that's already made his money. This is a guy that's got so much money, doesn't even matter. Like he doesn't have to do anything else. He's just got this like infinite money glitch with the UFC where he's going to make 20, 30 million a year as the CEO there. He owns other businesses. He's on the TKO board, all these different things, Zuffa Boxing, UFC BJJ. He's making so much money and he's just going on trips, meeting with presidents, booking yachts and all this stuff to where it's not really somebody that has to grow much at all. Like he is so set for life. His kids are set at this point. And so every time I see Dana talk, it's basically like a bored, jaded guy that has made his billions, and he no longer has to try about literally anything.
This off is like, this is game changing.
Yeah, it's game changing.
Like this sport's going to be huge this year now.
Oh, wow, it's game changing. Big whoop. That's bare minimum. Give me more.
That's huge.
I'm a hardcore fan. I'm addicted to this. It's all I have in life. Give me more.
That's how a lot of us feel. I mean, I got asked on stream yesterday, what do you do outside of this? Like, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I make videos for this channel. I watch fights. I train myself, like, you know, because I used to be a fighter. I train. And like, I hang out with my girlfriend. I was like, I don't have much outside of MMA in this channel. So I understand it's like when we have this much time to think about the sport, you sit there and go, no, give me more. Don't put the UFC on autopilot because it's at a peak. Make the peak even higher. Make it better. Make it the best sport in everybody's eyes, not just MMA fans' eyes, you know? Quick break. If you're loving this video and you want more from Fight Society, click that join button down below to become a channel member today, where you'll get access to members-only live streams, behind-the-scenes vlogs, and all the unfiltered stuff that we don't post to the main channel. Back to the video.
For excitement.
Do you think you need more from just Dana or more from the fighters?
Everyone. Everyone needs to be pulling their weight.
Have they ever reached out to you?
Yeah, the UFC used to reach out to me. Before UFC 300, they were messaging me to like get me on the countdown episodes. So I'd be like on the countdown. My voice would be on the countdown. My image would be on the countdown. Give me a face-to-face interview between the fighters.
Face-to-face, I totally agree with you.
Absolutely agree.
That'd be lit. I love watching those.
I love watching those when just before it was...
Okay, when was the last face-to-face interview with fighters then?
Have they ever really done that? They do press
They used to do
conferences.
that all the time.
Just running hardcore defense for Dana White. But this is the truth about where we're at with the UFC, where they got their big streaming deal. They got all these sponsorship partners. Dana White's job is secure. His fucking 10-figure, 10-figure income, whatever it is that he makes now, that's all set. And so that doesn't excite him anymore. And I've even heard from like people behind the scenes that he's at the casino every single night. So I made a joke like 2 days ago that, yeah, his dopamine centers are so fried from gambling every night that he can't even get excited about the UFC anymore. But then I look into it and it's actually freaking true. Like, this is the only time you ever seen Dana White interested in anything in the last 4 years.
Right? We can hold 50, but we can't do a partial.
Well, that's his mark.
Yeah, they printed up 100,000 for it, an actual check. They printed the check. So we can't do.
Oh, we're not. I thought you told me that we're.
Different. Yeah.
Just sat down.
No, she's right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I got you.
Your marker's at the.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw Dana White get this interested in anything? I mean, even this right here. This is him with Andrew Scholes talking gambling too. And you just realize there's a sparkle in his eye. There's actually happiness and hope for the future and like shit like that when it comes. Like, look at his face right here. They're talking gambling stories. You can't get Dana White fired up about the UFC for fucking anything, not even a Conor fight or John Jones anymore. But talking about gambling, $100,000 a hand, $500 a hand, whatever it is. This, like, look at the smile on Dana's face. You haven't seen him this happy to do anything to do with the UFC in like 5 years.
Now,
and there's nothing you can do. There's no recourse.
if you live anywhere near Niagara Falls and you're playing in any of those casinos,
be careful.
You'd be better off taking the money that you're going to lose and fly to Vegas and play there.
And so what's happening with the Bellagio now?
So I September 1st, I started playing Baccarat over there with these guys. You know, I fucking jump around here and there, and I have not lost since September 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you
That's
say?
Or the first week of September, like the first week.
Can you say
first,
how much you beat them up for?
I ain't doing this shit. Fucking everywhere.
What if we bleep it? What if we bleep it?
Yeah. Okay. Bleep it.
100% bleep.
Bleep it.
Wow. How much
since the first week?
How much was Ocean's 11? This is
This is him talking about gambling, but then talking about the UFC. It's, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Yeah, we got Adesanya Piper with a Grosso Macy Barber co-main event. Cool. Cool. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But then this, when was the last time you saw Dana White looking like this? I mean, I'm being real. And this is why I truly think that Dana White's gambling addiction has ruined his interest in the UFC. And I can actually back this up because Yahoo News wrote about it. A bunch of people wrote articles about it, that Dana White reportedly owes $25 million in gambling debt. And of course, I'm not saying he's in financial trouble because it's to the Red Rocks Casino, which is owned by the Fertitta brothers and the Fertitta family. So he owes $25 million in gambling debt to basically his best friends. They're not going to make him pay. They're like, you're good for it. But this does show just how addicted to gambling Dana White is. So when he gets this excited about gambling, but he doesn't get excited at all about the UFC, I actually think it's pretty fair to say how Dana White literally fried his brain gambling and now doesn't care about the company or the product that made him rich. And so MMA Guru being on big platforms like Adin Ross, who Dana White gambles with the Nelk boys who Dana White hangs out with, is actually the best case scenario for us to get better promotion of the product long term. So yeah, one, Dana White's gambling problem is ruining his interest in the UFC, but two, Guru getting put on big platforms such as Adin Ross, getting tons of engagement. I mean, this 40K likes on Instagram, grappling with Sarukian and Dana's friend Adin Ross, and then also going on the Nelk boys. These are all people Dana hangs out with. He's going to be able to get at least certain sound bites and certain one-liners in Dana's circle to where the fans start talking about this on a more mainstream scale as well, because it's Nelk boys and Adin Ross, not just our niche little MMA YouTube community. More people are going to talk about this, and Dana's going to get asked about this at press conferences and all that. So Fishing with Bryce coming soon. Definitely going to be a big video, because it says, I always thought that Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell seems like the type of person I like to go fishing with. So going fishing with him, I did. And boy, did it not disappoint. We spent a whole day and night together in the sticks of Arkansas. Fishing with Bryce soon. So from getting canceled to now having the biggest moment of his career and using that to get the UFC fans' complaints in front of Dana White and his friends, pretty dope. And I think it could result in some big changes for the UFC in the future. So let me know your thoughts down below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Do you want more from Fight Society? Like and subscribe below this video and click the join button to become a channel member today to get access to behind the scenes vlogs and members only live streams.